many. There's about 60 different technical committees. The reason your Visa card works all over the world is because of the work that has come out of the OASIS committees. The standards are all internationally available, they're open, non-proprietary, and they're free. When we started this work, most of you who live in Alaska know of a man named Dave Liebersbach. You know Dave Liebersbach? Back in the day, he was the EM director for the state of Alaska. And he has a rough voice, and he was talking back in the day about why can't these things just fit together? The software just needs to be able to fit together like a fire hose and a feeder. You know, why can't we make software do the same thing? So to that end, we developed and set up after 9/11 the Partnership for Public Warning, and that's where these standards had their origin. Alerting was the first, but it was so important when we decided what standards body we wanted to use to bring this work up in, that it was free. These standards, public safety is the least able to pay, so the standards needed to be free. They needed to be open so that anyone can comment on the relevance of the standards before they came to a full standard ratification. And they of course had to be international because disasters don't know boundaries. We must be able to communicate across all jurisdictions and domains as well, I'll talk about. So here's an overview of the different standards, and there's a limited set that come out of our committee. We started, like I mentioned, with CAP, the Common Alerting Protocol. Has anyone in here heard about CAP? Okay, a couple of you have. So this is a standard that we started with. It came from a practitioner need. It came out of the need after 9/11. We had FEMA's Tim Putbush sitting at the command center and didn't know what to say, when to push the button, what do we do, and can we get the information out, and then what do we say? We didn't have a good method for communicating alerts and warnings at all within our country. So that's come a long, long way now. NOAA, of course, is certainly, and they participate on my committee. I should mention my committee. We have NOAA, we have FEMA. Google Public Alerts is all based on the Common Alerting Protocol. I was at the World Conference on Disaster Risk Reduction last year, and I heard the Secretary General of the WMO, the World Meteorological Organization. He knew the name of the standard. Wow, what an honor. So since then, and the time in 2004 that it was first announced, the WMO has been a dominant sponsor of it. And it also is an ITU recommendation, 1303. So it definitely has had international uptake, and we do CAP now all over the world. Of the 184 member countries of WMO, I think over 100 now have some prototype or working CAP system now. I've worked with our Canadian partners, certainly do. I've worked with Environment Canada there. We've got to be able to share those alerts across our borders. So CAP, we have an incident that starts there, and I'll talk more about CAP. You guys have avalanches up here, you have earthquakes. There is now a capability for shake alert, if you've heard that. We can actually detect, there's technology to detect the P waves before the earth ever moves. We can start taking protective actions before that happens. We can stop surgeries that may be underway. We can open the firehouse doors before there's no power. So there's actions we can really take now. And it's all because of a very simple data standard called CAP. So having a basic standard that everyone uses to communicate this bit of information is very critical. And that'll be the core of what I'll be talking to you about. So a foundational standard like that. Well, not only do you need to get the alert to the people that are affected on the ground. We have tornadoes in the south. Well, not only do you need to let the folks know where the tornado is, you have to let the next county know. You also need to make sure that FEMA has that information at the different levels. So we developed a thing called the distribution element. And this distribution element is basically an envelope. It's a content-based routing standard, but it has the ability, if you just think of an envelope, you can put that CAP message in the envelope. You can also put a couple of images, maybe your plans on how you're going to respond. So it's an envelope of information about the alert. So we developed the distribution element. The other standards I'll go into just very briefly, and then I'll just sort of fly through some overviews. But tracking emergency patients and hospital availability, these go hand in hand. Most folks still use triage cards for a major disaster. If you go to a site, you pull out the triage card. Every time you identify a victim, you start putting that information there. That's old school. You know, we can do better than that. Well, we haven't. We really haven't done better than that. So this tracking emergency patient standard has the ability to provide you an electronic means to capture that information from first encounter, whether it's a plane going down or a large-scale incident with a multi-car crash, and you can now digitally track that information. You can upload it, you can append to it when you get through the triage, when you get to the EMS, the emergency medical system, and then you get to your final care, you get to your hospital, and what happens? Well, you have to fill out all the information again, right? Well, we can do better than that, and we have. We spent the last 4 years working with another international standards body called HL7, and that standards body is all about the messaging systems within the hospital. So because of the work that we've done, we have the ability to take that information and automatically populate those in-hospital records. Wow, wouldn't that be a great thing to have? So I talk about this because it's so important that people just know it's out there. And now you have to evacuate a hospital, or you have to